Good morning, Big Brother fans. It's Monday. Woohoo! Yay! And I'm driving to work. Yes, because I am still going to work. And for those of you saying you should not be going to work, I think I've already talked about it. I'm in IT, at least for right now, especially this week. We're slammed with trying to help people. We're on a skeleton crew. We're at about 1/4 of our normal IT workforce, but I'm far enough up in the food chain that it's important, in my opinion, for me to be there at least a little bit. So, we won't spend too much time talking about COVID-19, or maybe I'll go off on a tangent at the end, but I do actually want to talk about other stuff, because I'm sure some of you are listening to this going like, I don't want to hear more about that. I want to hear about stuff that it's just fluff that just makes me think about, not about that. All right, so I am caught up on Big Brother Canada, the TV review. I do not know what's happened in the house since Friday, because I'm assuming nominations were made on Friday, and I have seen up to the end of Friday of nominations. Hang on, got a cough. I'm fine though, just something in my throat. All right, so I wish I knew. I wish I'd paid attention to the last time I did one of these. I don't remember if it was after Thursday night's show or not. I don't think it was. No, I don't think I have. Because I didn't watch Thursday night's show until Friday. And I know I haven't done one of these since Friday, because I've pretty much been at home since Friday. And I don't record these generally when I'm at home. All right, so what's happened? First of all, if you're watching Big Brother Canada and you're not up to date, then hey, you should turn this off. For those of you that aren't watching it, you'll be able to live a little bit through me, I suppose. And those of you that are paying attention to every waking minute on the live feeds, and as much as they are, and anything else, then you can roll your eyes again, because you're going to know more than I know. But it's been an interesting week. So last week, Sherman was head of household. And Sherman had targeted Rian and Maddie as who he wanted to get out. Maddie won... Wait. Who won the power veto with... This really doesn't matter in the end. But John Luke, I think he was paired up with Madeline. And... No... whichever. John Luke was paired up with one of the girls. They did a prom themed one where they had to hold this ball. It was kind of cool. They had to catch a ball between their lips, the two of them, their faces, and they had to carry the ball the length of the room and dump it into a big oversized vase that eventually, when it was filled, when they got all it wasn't filled. When they got their balls into it, then they won. So John Luke and whichever one of the girls he was paired with won. So, she and John Luke, that meant John Luke was safe from being able to be renominated, even though he wasn't nominated, because he was. They paired it up so not only did the two people were saved at once, and whichever person was like the head of house, or the head of household, or not the head of household, the nominee got to use it. And so, whoever the nominee was used it. She saved herself. Could have been Maddie, could have been Rian. I just can't remember right now. I'm feeling dumb. But I want to say it was Rian, only because Maddie was all, stupid. Why didn't I, she's a little bit like, was it Jessica from 2 seasons ago? They couldn't do the puzzle. That's what her voice reminds me of. But in the end, one of the girls came down, and Sheldon put up the evil Min Lee, who is just a real pot stirrer. I'm not saying she's really evil, but that's kind of her. That's the way she's being painted on this season. So Min Lee was nominated, and then the wheels came off because then Min Lee called a house meeting, and suddenly things kind of went off the rails. But we really don't know what exactly happened, and the people that are watching the live feeds apparently don't know exactly what happened either, for sure. But what we know is Jamar, who had a bit of a showmancy kind of a thing going on with Min Lee, was kicked out of the house for inappropriate actions. We don't know what those were, don't have any idea. No one in the house seemed to think it was just, no one was like, wow, he should have gone, he was horrible. They were all like, no, it's like, I think production said, you know what, we can't let this person stay, even though the house guests don't seem to think it was kick-out worthy. We think it was. So whatever Jamar did, and maybe it'll eventually get out, it was enough to get him kicked out of the house. Followed shortly after by Kyle. Kyle is the muscle-bound father of a couple of kids, married, long hair. He was kind of a central character to a certain extent. Kind of was involved in a lot of the drama in the house, and I don't know what he got kicked out for, but whatever it was, the production's like, we reviewed the tapes, and this has been going on for a while. I don't know what it was. If someone wants to tell me, you're more than welcome to, because I'm not going to open up all my mutes and everything and to try to figure it out. I don't know, but Kyle was gone. So suddenly they lost 2 guys. So we're at, I think, week 3, and we've lost 4 guys. So, yeah, they're dropping like flies, man. And so in the end, production said, all right, we're just clean sweeping. We're resetting this week. And we're going to start with a new head of household competition. And so Thursday's show ended with this new head of household competition going. And Sheldon was allowed to participate since his head of household ended up not being worth much, other than it caused some drama, and probably is what got Jamar kicked out, because he put Min Lee up as Serena. But anyways, so they're down to 4 guys, 8 girls, and they do a new head of household competition. The one that they did before that Sheldon won was one where you basically put balls in the tubes of the person you didn't want to get head of household, and so it was much of a ganging up on. So Sheldon kind of won it by default because nobody went after him very strongly. This one was an endurance competition. It only lasted 90 minutes, by the way, roughly. A little bit less, a little bit more, somewhere in that range. It was kind of unique, though, and it was different. It was a hanging one, which, of course, you think, at least I think, oh, hanging. Slight, slender people. But they were hanging by their arms. Only their arms, really. And they were sewed into sleeping bags, laying on an inclined fake grass, like, fake green grass lawn at an angle that so, they were hanging down against it. So all they had was their hands to hold onto this bar over their heads. And, of course, the last one to let go of the bar was the head of household. And it came down, actually, that's why I said you think they usually favor slight people, but I think maybe it's the hanging part, just the sheer muscle that helped the guys. Plus, it was only 90 minutes. It would appear that the slender people just had no strength at all, or else didn't want it, which is very possible. And it came down to Chris, who was the first head of household. But yes. And Sheldon, who was the last head of household. And Chris gave it to Sheldon. A move that almost immediately after Sheldon regretted, because he realized, as pointed out to him by Brooke, that he and Chris had the same target. So why did you why did you have to win it? Sheldon's thinking, I need to build his resume. And Brooke's saying you're putting a big target on yourself as being a tough, a hard, a strong, what do I want to say? A strong player. So that all happened, and in the end, Sheldon apparently wants to still go after Min Lee, which is what he wanted to go after the first time around. Apparently that is who Chris may have been going after as well. But as I sit here driving and thinking about it, knowing what happened after that, I'm starting to wonder, again, this comes into editing, of how much and how easily the others would have dropped, because after the competition, Carol, who is, and she says it herself, a larger than she's a big girl. She's a big girl lesbian. I think she's married, and she and her wife have at least one or two adopted kids or something like that. I don't remember her total backstory, but she came in to talk to Sheldon, and Brooke was there at the time too, and said that she wants to be voted out because she just needs to go home. She's burned out. She can't handle this. I think she said she's learned all these coping mechanisms and things like listening to music and doing this and that, and she has none of that available to her in the house, and so she just needs to go. But she doesn't want to walk out. She wants to be voted out. She wants to go out on her terms. Not, which to me is like, well, then walk out. But she wants to be voted out so she leaves the game properly. I'm wondering if Carol wasn't expressing those thoughts all along, before the head of household competition. I'm wondering if she'd been saying that quite a bit and we didn't see it in the TV edit. So everybody knew that whoever won head of household was probably going to be approached by Carol to get nominated, to get voted out. And they all looked at it as, well, this is a waste of a head of household. Why get it this week when we know that Carol's the one that's going to want to go? So it's very possible that those weaker players, the lighter players that should have been able to stay longer, all were bailing out because they didn't want to have their head of household be the head of household. They got rid of Carol. And they felt safe for the week, knowing that Carol was probably going to go. That's just a guess on my part. I have no proof. Again, I'm only watching the TV show, but that's a thought. So Carol has proposed that she be voted out. So where we leave Sunday's show, which is the nomination show, is that Sheldon has nominated Rhiann and... Did you nominate Rhiann? Yeah, not Maddie. I think he nominated Rhiann. Yeah. And no, didn't nominate Rhiann. Nominated Carol, as she wanted to be, and Min Lee. That's right, Min Lee's nominated. So he's got his real target, Min Lee, sitting next to the person who asked to be put up, Carol. Now, talk we were shown on the show was that, oh yeah, we'll just put you up as a pawn, Min Lee, but Sheldon kept saying, but she's my real target. Is she not? I mean, she should be, but anyways, so that's what's up. We've got Min Lee and Carol on the block, assuming Carol hasn't self-evicted yet. Come Thursday, we'll have the Power Veto competition on Wednesday's show, and then come Thursday, we'll see who goes out the door. And if the Power Veto's played and won, who knows? Maybe somebody takes Carol off the block. There's some drama for you. Anyways, all right, that's what I got for you guys. Other shows, still watching Survivor, into it, enjoying it to a certain extent. I'm checking it out. I'm watching it within a day or so after it airs, so I'm okay with it. What else? Other shows. There's still The Circle from... Not The Circle. Love is Blind. Did I talk about watching that? Because I did watch it, finally. I think I did, and I'm not going to go back into it. But there seems to be... Every few days, there's a new little leak about Love is Blind coming out, like where you hear a little bit more about how maybe things weren't quite what we thought. Like, I mean, it was all done out of Atlanta. And now I was reading how production actually went on like Tinder or one of the other sites and catfished some of the people to get them to try out for the show. Like that way they knew, in theory, that way they knew that people were looking possibly for a relationship. I don't know. Are you looking for a relationship when you're on Tinder? Maybe it wasn't Tinder they were looking. I'm not sure. I'm married. I don't know about these things. All right. That's that. What else? All right. So that's that. What's up in my life? So we're done talking about TV. Now we're going to talk about me for a minute or so. I was supposed to be getting on a cruise today. I was supposed to be in Miami right now. I'm supposed to be actually right now. If the world hadn't gone off the rails, my wife and I would probably be in our car driving from Tampa to Miami to get on a cruise ship, to go on a cruise to Key West and Cozumel. But that didn't happen. So, I'm going to work. Yay! And it snowed here yesterday. That's all we needed. My wife is like, it's snowing! And it wasn't a happy it's snowing. It was a, oh my God, this is supposed to be my break. This is supposed to, she's a teacher. It's supposed to be my spring break. I'm supposed to be in the warm sun, and it's snowing. Snow's almost all melted, by the way, now. It's 37 degrees. I think we may see the sun tomorrow, maybe. Right now it's overcast. So, yeah. That's what's up, guys. I'm just, the cruise thing, it's okay. We're on a Carnival cruise. We were. And Carnival has done, they've done all right by us, or they've done all right to us, assuming that they stay in business, which I think they will stay in business. They're keeping our money right now. They'll give us 100% refund if we want it. We just have to tell them by December. Or we can rebook our cruise anytime. By December, we need to rebook our cruise, and we can book it for any date up and through December of 2022. So we pretty much have 2 years to take this cruise. Again, that we've already paid for. They would give us a stateroom credit, meaning money that we could spend on excursions or for drinks or things like that, or maybe for spa visits. And the value of that, if you realize that you're not actually getting handed the money, and you just look at it as, well, it's money, it's what you've earned, if you look at it that way, is actually fairly a good rate of return for the amount that we paid for the cruise. So at this point, our plans are just to reschedule the cruise and take the money. Or maybe, I don't know if we can use that. I don't think we can. It says stateroom credit. So I think if our actual cruise that we eventually reschedule is more than what we paid for this one, we'll probably have to pay the difference. I don't think we can apply our stateroom credit towards that. If we could, that'd be nice. But either way, I'm going to guess that Carnival's going to be looking for deals. I mean, wanting to, the prices are not going to be going up on Carnival anytime soon. And I plan on going on it with my wife. No parking. Wonder why. All right, so I am virtually... Well, if I was not virtually, I have coworkers that are working virtually from home. I'm almost to the office, almost to work, so I'm going to sign off. Tell you guys to have a great day, a good day. Those of you that aren't buying the hype and think that this thing is the media overhyping things please don't think that. Please try to limit your social interactions at the very least. Keep your space from people. I frankly, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not nearly as worried about myself as I am for like my parents who are in their 80s. Because I think if one of them got this, it could seriously be fatal for them because of the seriousness of it. So just think of other people. If you think you're fine and everything else, just remember you might be catching it and carrying it and not know. So, all right, not meaning to get too serious. Oh, look, there's tons of parking at work. How shocking is that? That's good. Should be tons of parking at work. I do not want to see a ton of vehicles here. But there's still enough that I can't find a son who's trying to cheat and get a really close spot. All right. We'll go one loop here. Yeah, but again, not to get too super serious, but please be smart. And don't take any chances. Don't go out if you don't have to. And thank you to all of those in any of the, I guess you call first responders or people in the medical field. Anybody who is doing their job. I mean, I'm IT. I don't consider my job a, like life or death kind of a thing. We just have a lot of people that have computers now. But those of you that are in hospitals or police or in the armed services, I could go on. Thank all of you for your time and your service and for going the extra mile. It's appreciated. And with that, I am signing off. I don't know if I'll talk to you tomorrow or the next day, but I will talk to you again sometime soon. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.